I don't know why the camera cut out. It just did. But it brings me to the next point. So I've got all of that to contend, right? So I've got to fix the kitchen downstairs as well. It functions, but not enough for me. I need to be able to sit down properly at cookers and stuff, which means I need leg room, and you don't get that when everything's flush and flat. So I've got to think about that when I'm washing pots or trying to cook. I have a downstairs toilet that's outside. So it's inside the house, but the door to get to it is on the outside because it's a 1930s house, right? Back in the day, you would go downstairs and your toilet was either not joined to your house and it was a separate building, or it was on the bottom floor, but the door was on the outside, okay? So I've got that, and it needs renovating. Most of the houses that are still owned by the council, they've took it out, they've concreted it, and they've got rid of it entirely. I think that's very counterproductive. It's always handy to have two toilets. You never know what might happen. But it means I've got to get that fixed. The next problem is I do need a toilet downstairs because, as I say, if I'm stuck downstairs, at least I've got a bed, at least I've got the kitchen, but I will need the toilet because I can't get up and down for the toilet, right? So I've got to sort that. The problem is I have to go outside, go down the steps, and then go up a step to get into it. I need to eliminate that problem, which means structural work to the house to put a door on the inside coming off the kitchen. I still want to keep the door on the outside for when I'm gardening. It means I don't have to go inside and ruin fucking mess everywhere up with mud or whatever to go to the toilet. Like, my whole aim is to try and make my life easier. I don't want to be making mess, yeah, because I might not be able to clean up that mess for a good long time, and I do not want to get behind on stuff, right? This is why toilets used to be outside in the first place. Anyway, need the door to stay on the outside, but I also need to make structural changes in the kitchen to have a door put in so that I can access it from inside as well as outside. So I've got to do both those things, right? All of those plans means I'm going to lose the box room, which is the third bedroom, because I've got to extend the bathroom to be able to split off the shower and the bath, right? So I lose effectively a bedroom, and that means I need to do a loft renovation and extend the loft up to make it tall enough, and then convert that into another bedroom, and that will also need an ensuite toilet function and the same kitchen stuff in case I get stuck up there. And that's all because I live with 2 floors and things are spread out over 2 floors. I just it's gobsmacking to me that money is more important and profit is more important than caring about folk and the quality of life. And I think about people stuck in flats with health conditions and disabilities, and old people stuck in houses and they can't get up and down on their own, and no one's there to look after them or watch them, and they don't trust anybody, because I get that. Like today, I can't cook, and I'm not doing too great with moving because it hurts a lot, and I'm on my tablets, which makes me very wobbly, and so it's best I don't be moving around too much. So I'm eating like cereal or biscuits, you know what I mean, things that don't need cooking, just to help myself. If it was, because it's warm, I can just drink, cordial and water or whatever. But if it was cold, I would need those hot drinks to keep keep my internals warm, because of the way my body is, it tends to shut down. And so if my bad day today was in the winter, for example, I'd be really struggling because I'd need to go downstairs to get hot drinks and stuff like that. If anybody's got advice on how I can tackle, for example, being able to cook without dropping pans, or things that pour the water for you, the hot water for you, straight into your cup. I don't even know if that's a thing. I don't want a microwave, but I'll have toasters, and I will have countertop hobs, electric hobs, plug-in ones, like camping ones and stuff like that. I'll do stuff like that, but I'm never going to have a microwave. Yeah, anything like that. Any tips? Or tips on how you get up and downstairs just with stairs and 2 handrails without having an accident all the time. Especially if you live on your own, how are you managing to function? How are you managing to, or are you going without and struggling? Like, what do you do? What do you do? The fixing the kitchen is going to be easy, because I can just, where I would need to put my leggies, for example, if I'm sitting, rather than there be a cupboard there or whatever, I could just put a hole there so my legs fit in. You know what I mean? Like my cookers, my ovens and stuff, I can move them rather than have them all down. Where my leggies are, I can have them all up. You know what I mean? Where I can do up, which again is still pretty dangerous, seeing as my shoulders come out the sockets. I don't know how to deal with this. And my house has to work for me, and it has to work for me because I'm going to be here till I put my clogs, and then this house will get passed to my nieces who are disabled, and I need it to work for me, because then I can trial test it and make sure it works, so that I know it's going to work for them, and then they don't need to worry. And all of this sounds like a lot of work for a person who's currently stuck in bed all day and facing continuous work problems, big fucking work problems. And it's not me that's the fucking problem. There's a lot of other fucking people that's the problem. I don't know. When I'm sat here with all the time in the world, stuck in bed, I tend to think about things a heck ton more. And it's not like I can fix it right now because I'm stuck in bed. But also, I don't have the solutions right now to be able to fix it, even if I could get out of bed. I don't know. I'm looking for tips. What do people do? I'm suddenly getting really tired again. I'm going to end up crashing again. Me and my bug antennas are going to disappear. But if anybody's got any tips, be you young, old, yellow, blue, pink, I don't give a fuck. Even if you've got a million arms or no arms. Anybody. If anyone's got any ideas. I am, my ears are open. I'm always open to ideas and perspectives and thoughts and discussions, especially if it's to problem solve. That's important. And then I can document it for if anybody else needs to know down the line or whatever, and somebody's already done it. and filmed it. You know what I mean? And then they don't have to struggle and try and wing it on their own. Because figuring things out from scratch is very hard. It is.